Hey guys, HW. I'm in my local hood today, Coogee. So I thought I'd do a little skirt around the streets of Coogee today to give you a little bit of history and a few sites to look at. We're standing right now directly across the road from a very famous mansion in Coogee that was built and owned by a family, the Worth family, Worth circus fame, who ran a big circus in Australia in the 1800s and 1900s. Now apparently back in the day, this block of land that the house sits on now extended, I think, like 3,600 square metres or something like that, and it used to have a private zoo out the back. It's that whole collection of zoo animals, but what it's most famous for is having an elephant out the back. An elephant by the name of Alice. Just walking down towards the coast now, walking down to North Beach Street. But yeah, back to that elephant, Elephant Alice. Apparently, back in the day, Prince Edward, who later became King Edward, and I think then after that he abdicated, right? He supposedly rode that elephant when he was out here. He came out in 1920. So he actually rode that elephant, and so that elephant used to sit in the backyard there of the Worth Circus house. Since I think the daughter of the Worth Circus family passed away, or was the last person that was in the house back in the early 2000s. I think around 2007 or something like that, she passed away, and then the house was sold to private concerns. Now there's a whole bunch of celebrities that live in and around Coogee now. I'm not going to point out any of their houses because, look, if I had that much coin, I wouldn't want people pointing out my house to the general public either, so I'm going to leave them alone. But I'm just telling you that I could do that if I wanted to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to point out a couple of houses where some famous people used to live back when I was getting around these streets. And the first one's this house over here on the corner of Beach Street. The famous Australian jockey Jimmy Cassidy lived in that house for a while. And directly across the road over this side, if we catch a bit of this semi that's later become a two-storey semi, very famous girl by the name of Fiona Coote used to live in this place. And if any of you remember Fiona Coote, she was the recipient of the first heart transplant in Australia. So she lived in this semi here. So all of these people I'm mentioning, they've since moved on, so pretty safe to say that there's no famous people living in these joints anymore, so I don't mind mentioning that. Now as I walk along here, it's New Year's Eve in Sydney, and these streets are starting to get pretty busy because every New Year's Eve they have a big fireworks display in Coogee that's sponsored by the Coogee Bay Hotel and the local council, which is the Randwick Council. So later on, from about 8 p.m, you'll see hordes of people getting down these side streets, trying to get a vantage point for the fireworks. But yeah, as I walk down the road here towards the reserve, which is on the north side of Coogee Beach, where a lot of people stand to watch the fireworks, I'll tell you what the temperature is. It's currently 25 degrees Celsius, which is just over 77 Fahrenheit, right? Or around about 77 Fahrenheit. So it's quite warm. I'm not going to put my ugly mug on the camera today because I've had a stressful day. The car broke down while I was on my way over here, so I had to switch cars, which added several hours to my journey. But just while we walk down to, we're almost going to join the street that sort of gets you onto that lovely coastal walk. I'm not going to head down there just yet. But just as we're walking down here, I'll just quickly stop and show you the hat that I'm wearing. I'm not going to show you my face because, as I said, I've had a terrible day and you don't need to see my ugly mug, but I'll show you the cap anyway. So this is the cap I'm wearing, San Francisco 49ers. Now this used to be the team that I followed in the NFL, but I'll put the cap back on. But there was a rugby league player who wasn't from my local team who joined the 49ers for a while. He was in the practice squad first, and then I think he got a few games at the start of the season. And Sydney Siders and Australians in general went bonkers, and they all jumped on the 49ers train. And I took that opportunity to give it a miss for a while because I didn't want to just be one of those maniacs. And so he's since left the NFL a number of years now, so I think it's safe to get back on the 49ers. So good on you 49ers, keep playing well. I think they're leading their division at the moment. We're coming into the reserve now, which is the Dunningham Reserve. People are starting to set up their tents and chairs to get ready for the fireworks tonight. I'll be coming down here pretty close to the 9 p.m. kickoff myself to see the fireworks, and then I'll go back and have some more drinks and get ready to see the probably watch the big ones later, the Sydney Harbour ones on the TV. Can hear a helicopter coming in over there. And being local to this area, it's quite often that I see helicopters going up and down the coast here, because tourists, one of the favourite things they have to do, and we'll see in a minute, is they come onto these cliffs over here and, you know, walk up and down them outside the safety rails. Yeah, it's a police helicopter, so no doubt another fool has slipped off the cliff and now they're looking for them in the water. So growing up around here, I used to see this in summer like at least a couple of times a week. Yeah, look at that. Looks like they're searching for someone in the water. So Sydney's made up of these sandstone, or a lot of sandstone, and shit, these are really slippery. And what people do is they come over here and they climb over these guardrails here, and then they walk along the cliff face and they slip off, and that's how they meet their end. So you can see there, look on that little bit of rock ledge there. That's how thin the rock gets, and even thinner in some spots. So they climb this guardrail here and jump over and walk along the cliff here. So as I said, when I was a kid, at least a couple of times a week in the summer, some idiot was walking along here outside the safety rails and slip and fall off, or a bit of this sandstone breaks off because it's not real strong, and then it's sayonara, and then it's like bloody police and rescue helicopters have to come out and look for them. So we look down to the car park of the Clovelly Surf Lifesaving Club over there. And I'll point out this spot here as well. That rock ledge there is really popular with fishermen. And again, a lot of them are fools too. They're constantly getting washed off the rocks there. And so again, the police have to come out and search for them. So if you come out to Coogee as a tourist and you come along the coast to walk, don't walk along these rock ledges. Like here, I'll show you this. See that? That's how easy it is to slip on these rocks. And people do it, you know, on cliff faces that are, some of them 100 metres or more high. So get your shot another way. Don't get out on the rock ledge. It's low percentage football. So let's keep walking. Get back to that subject that I was talking about before, the 49ers. I'm glad that I can come back and get on the 49ers train. And it's good timing as well because they're coming good. They're leading their division at the moment. They've got their third string quarterback absolutely dominating, Purdy. And they've got some great runners like McCaffrey receiving the ball from him and scoring a lot of touchdowns. Got a couple of good extra wide receivers as well. And they've got a defending juggernaut by the name of Bosa. And he's the guy that does puts his hands out like a clown when he pulls off a tackle to let everyone know what a great job he's done. But yeah, they're all dominating. So up the 49ers. And let's face it, San Francisco is Sydney's sister city. And I've been there a number of times. I love it. It's probably for selfish reasons, because when I get over there, it's so similar to home. So similar to Sydney. It's got the same people, the same Europeans that settled Australia, settled San Francisco. They had a gold rush in the 1800s just like us. They had a big Chinese population move in for the gold rush just like us. They've got a big Chinatown just like us. And they're hilly just like us. They've got a big harbour or bay just like us. And they've got the bridge and other icons that are illustrated constantly across the world. So I love San Francisco, and any of you San Franciscans over there, you should be loving Sydney too. So get over here, get on a plane and explore Sydney. Now we're just joining the coastal walk here at the start of Gordon's Bay. You'll probably hear my feet because I'm trying to hold the microphone away from my big gob so you don't have to listen to my heavy breathing. Shout out to my brother-in-law Paul, who loves making fun of me and criticising my videos. Tells me I don't do enough research. I've got to do more research. He wants me to be a bit of a historian, I think.
That's what it was about.
That was a little look down into Gordon's Bay. It's really popular with scuba divers, Gordon's Bay. So got some nice natural reefs to, you can see little wobbegong sharks, and there's some grey nurses further out, and fish, lots of fish around. Wait till I get a bit further down here and then I'll flick it around and show you the fishing club. So yeah, here's the little Gordons Bay Fishing Club down here. If you come down here just after sunset, you'll see the fishermen coming in, bringing their catch in, because they get up real early in the morning, get out to their traps and get out onto the reef and catch some fish, and then come in that little clubhouse over there. They clean and scale their fish over there before they toss any remains into the water here. And it's something that always amused me growing up around here, was due to them throwing all the fish guts into the water, it used to attract sharks. And in particular, it used to attract this massive tiger shark. And if you don't know what tiger sharks are like, they eat everything, right? They're the real garbage gutters of the ocean. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Say that really fast. Garbage gutters of the ocean. And so they come down and just eat all the remains, right? Not really interested in people, but still it used to amuse me when I'd see tourists swimming over the bay. I'm thinking to myself, Christ, if they came into contact with that massive tiger shark, they'd soon hop out of the water. But I think generally you're quite safe to swim there, because it's not stupid. It comes in to get the remains early in the morning, and then it takes off out to the ocean again. I tell you what, it's bloody humid. We had a lot of rain earlier in the day. It was pouring. And then the sun came out. And as you'd expect, it created a bloody greenhouse. Just going to walk over the other side now and have a quick look at Coogee Bay itself. I'm only going to do a short video. Mostly just wanted to wish you all a Happy New Year's. Yeah, look at these people setting up for the fireworks. Oh, look at that. You can see them actually setting up the charges on the headland over there. See all those white squares over there on the headland? That's the fireworks. So you can see the exclusion zone that they've got here. So there's quite a distance between the crowd, which are going to be sitting here, and the fireworks on the headland. There's the dome of the Coogee Palace over there, which I think it's called something else now. They would constantly change the name of it all the time. I mentioned that in my previous Coogee video, so I won't get into the history of that building again. There's a bunch of music over there, so I might film from a different direction. These people, they get a vantage point which is close to all of the shops in the pub, so that they've got good resources on hand for the night. I wish these people weren't playing that music so loud. I don't really want to have to dig this out of the footage later, so I might just pause for a sec to give a chance to pull it out. Look at all the punters starting to line up on the beach as well. One of those people on the beach will have a good view of the fireworks later. Now, one of the reasons why I come down this street was I wanted to show you this block of units here. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I think it was this one here with the blue and white stripes on it. It was one of these blocks of units here where the Australian TV show Summerland was parts of it were filmed out the front of that building. That TV show was around for a while. It had Brooke Satchwell in it, Les Hill and Peter Phelps, just to name a few actors. I only watched it a couple of times, so I can't tell you everyone that was in it. But yeah, here in Baden Street in Coogee, that's where that show was filmed, Summerland. Now I'm pointing up the gigantic hill of Beach Street. I can see a few unsavoury types coming down the street, so I might cross the road. Got a good spot there. Just going to quickly film this set of restaurants here. Hey, give us a flex. Give us a flex.
Oh, all right.
What do we got here? The Clove restaurant. And we got Grumpy Baker here on the corner. These changed hands a few times. This Grumpy Baker used to be a fish shop. A Kiwi-owned fish shop. Coogee Bay again in the background down there. I'm going to cross the road again. I'll flip around and show you this joint. So this big development here, which is called Panorama, back in the old days, this was just a massive grass hill, and it, as I said before the camera overheated and shut down, thanks GoPro, this was a giant hill, this place on the corner here, and used to have a backpackers on the top, and they sold the land, and they turned it into this massive bunch of flats or condos, whatever you want to call it. I remember the backpackers used to have a massive dog that they used to have tied up outside the front of it. He must have been absolutely terrified being a backpacker in those days, getting up there with that dog up there. But anyway, Anyway, we're almost back to where we started. So as I said, just a quick skirt today around Coogee or North Coogee, and a view over Clovelly and the coastal walk and Gordon's Bay. So I'll take again this opportunity to wish you and your family a great 2023. It's HW over.